Yeah. Just gonna get the vibe right now.
What?
Change my light. Let's see what does that do for my light.
Yeah. You know what it is, boy. It's that time again. Must be Sunday. It must be Sunday. Yeah. Must be motherfucking Sunday. Must be Sunday. It is Sunday. It is Sunday.
Welcome
It is
to the
Sunday.
check-in.
Yes, sir. Yes,
For
sir.
those that
Check-in.
are tuning in, you already know this is the check-in. It goes down every Sunday. Heat detector.
What's cracking?
Tell them what this show is about, man. They don't know. They don't know.
If
Just
you
assume
don't
they
know,
don't know.
if you don't know, I will tell you right now. This show is about mental health, men's mental health, and specifically, but we also talk to and about women as well because their mental health is, precious too.
Can we go ahead and do that now?
But do what? That disclaimer. Go ahead and give them that first part. I'll give them this. Oh, but yeah, then we'll introduce the people that are here right now. But go ahead and give them that disclaimer. Right.
We're going to
quick.
go ahead and give that disclaimer before we say anything and introduce anybody, man, because we want y'all to know that we are not licensed psychiatrists. We are not licensed therapists. We are not licensed anything. It's just a bunch of us, man, that been through life, that been through a lot of shit, man, that could really talk about it. And we could give you a different perspective about what it is you might be going through. Today's topic might hit you in the heart. It might be somebody that's just listening, that's just watching out there, and it's going to hit you in the heart, man. It's going to be exactly what it is that you are going through at the moment. So, but that's our disclaimer, man. And shout out to the legendary Nash Vino. And in her words, stop fucking playing with us. We're just out here giving y'all how we feel, man, and our perspective on life. It's a couple of the homies. We're all different age brackets. For those that don't know, I don't know if that's important or not. And I'm not going to go into numbers. But Reggie, me, and Heat Detector, we're all different age brackets, so we're going to give y'all our perspective. And also, we got our special co-host that's been co-hosting with us since the beginning,
Yeah.
our day one homie, our day one brother, man. We got the brother OT in the building. What's up,
Drill
y'all?
sergeant in the building.
Shout out,
All the way
shout
from
out.
Germany.
E, Gizzo, how y'all doing? Much
What's
love
up,
to
brother,
you.
man? It's
Good,
it's
good.
it's
From
always a
Germany.
pleasure to have you in the building because you know what? We all bring a different perspective, and whether it's OT or whether it's Heat Detector telling y'all what it is, or whether it's me, or whether it's them telling me I'm full of shit, whatever it is, man, we're gonna give y'all the real because this is that space. This is a no. All right, we like to say that this is a judgment-free zone, but we
Right.
mean that as far as we gonna keep it real with you, bro.
Keep it 100.
We ain't gonna judge you
We
on
ain't
the
gonna judge
bullshit.
you, but
We
we
ain't
gonna
gonna
keep it
judge you
real
on the
with you.
bullshit, but we gonna keep it real with you.
All the time.
And this is the show for that. And I also got a co-host, man, who's been in on the show multiple times. Y'all probably already know him. But if you don't, brother, introduce yourself.
Oh man, what's good, family? Man, this is Reggie Smokes, man. Back just to kick it with the guys, man. Talk about some real stuff for y'all for a second. You know what's up?
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So I think it's very important that we go right into it because people want to know.
Hold on. Before we go into it, I got to give the other part.
Okay.
And that other part is, and I say this every show, if you got them cotton candy ass ears and you dream of rainbows and bunnies and unicorns, this ain't the fucking show for you. If you carry your emotions on your sleeve, this ain't the show for you. If you are easily offended, this is not the show for you. Now is your time to get the fuck up off this channel. We don't encourage you to get the fuck off the channel, but if you have a hard time dealing with reality and truths, then you should probably vacate the building.
A lot of reality and truth has to do with an emotion that we all experience, man, in our lives. No matter what age you are, whether it's Reggie, whether it's me, whether it's you, or different age brackets in between that, we all experience this emotion. And it's a topic for our show tonight. And I think that it's going to get deep because we're all going to be able to come to this from a different perspective. Heat Detector's living his life. I'm living a different life. OT's living a different life, and Reggie's living a different life. We all have a different perspective. So I feel like we're going to be able to dot a lot of I's, cross a lot of T's in this conversation. So he, go ahead and give it to him, man. This is a good one, bro. Let him know. Shout out to Swipe God, the engineer. He said, "Tell him put your skirt down if you can't handle it." And that goes along with our motherfucking intro.
Everybody calm the fuck down. Real talk though. Also too, if you're watching this from Facebook, get over to YouTube at youtube.com/@unwrap. Also too, I will be putting the link in the comments.
Hit the link, but there's also, just so y'all know, for everybody that's typing it in on YouTube, there is a space in between un and rap. If you do not put that space, it will send you somewhere else. Right. So make sure that you put space. So you put UN space.
No, it's all I got to do is type unwrap.
All right, I'm telling you from searching it, brother.
Okay, all right. Well then,
but look up both. If you don't get one, get the other. Look up both. Me and he are both correct. Look up both of them. But
so that topic tonight.
Yeah.
The topic tonight is love blind, or is it toxic, or is it toxic for love to be blind?
But can we break that down a little more?
It's not necessarily like falling in love with a woman, or
we're talking everything.
Relationships. Here. It could be, a bro that you. What's up? Shout out to Microphone Misfits. I hope that's D Nick. It could be you fall in love with your homie, not in a fucking gay way or whatever. Sorry, I hate to say it like that, but I couldn't think of anything to say off the top of my head. But just brotherly love. You know what I'm saying? Sisterly love. You just meet that person. You just fall in love with who they are, their spirit, and everything else. Or in a relationship, you meet that person and you just instantly feel love. Is that real, or is that like a toxic thing? Is that a toxic thing to just see somebody and you don't know them, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I love you, or you feel like you love them when you don't even know them, or
Okay, how about we start at the beginning, Heat? Let me ask a question that's at the very beginning, and we've asked this question on the show before, and we've had multiple answers. But what is the time limit for falling in love, whether it be with a friendship, whether it be with a courtship, whatever it is? What is that? Is there a time gauge for falling in love?
You mean how long does it take?
Yeah, like can I tell you that I love this my homie, I love this motherfucker in 6 months? Well, is it 2 years? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like what's that? Let's just start off with a gauge of how do you even get in love?
Or like, how do you define love?
Or what do you define love? Is there a time? I mean, maybe you met one of the homies and he saved your life the first day you met him, and every day after that he been there for you and been backing you up and whatever it is. Like, is that your, you know what I'm saying? Do you say not day one, but is that your boy? Is that a definition of love? What about a girl that you just met and you've been kind of just courting her for 8 weeks, for 12 weeks? I know people that been in love in 12 weeks, man. Like, that say that they love people in 12 weeks. So can we start off by gauging that? Is that even a good place to start off?
Sure.
As soon as I get all these damn, I'm over here trying to get all the cameras and everything right. But go ahead, I'll work on the cameras. Y'all work on everything else. I'll get it all together.
D Nick, what's up, brother?
Hey, peace, blessings. What's up, y'all?
You're the last one. You're the last one to tune into the chat. So we'll go ahead and kick it off with you, brother. I posed the question. I posed the question about love, and we're talking about love, and what's the topic again? Heat.
Shit, man, damn.
You forgot the topic.
Yeah. I watched the intro.
Yeah, is love blind or is it toxic?
Yeah, is love blind, or is there such thing as falling in love with somebody blind? God damn, let me get these cameras right, man. Don't talk to me right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get getting these cameras right. But go ahead, but we can still hear you.
Yeah, man. What's your interpretation of this?
Oh my God. We talking about romantic love or just love in general?
We're talking about all love. So we're talking about friendships. We're talking about friendships with, whether it be with a man or a woman. You love this person. We're just
Hmm.
talking about love all,
I
all
mean,
across.
I mean, to be fair though, you would have to differentiate it based on type, because the way you love your family ain't the way you would love like your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's
Right,
But we're
right,
different
right.
types of
talking
love.
about is love toxic? The question is it toxic? And I think that topic stretches out into all of the forms of love that we're talking about.
No doubt.
Whether it's a friend, whether it's a loved one, whether it's a partner, those are three different loves. But is it
Uh,
toxic? Is it,
uh, love is an impulse or a feeling developed from a habit. That's what it is.
Feeling from a
An
habit.
impulse or a feeling developed from a habit.
that makes it not
That's the
sound that
technical.
makes it not
That's
sound real, D
that is
Nick.
the technical side. That's the technical term.
Yeah, but that makes it not sound real because if you know what
Why?
love is and
What? I'm gonna
if you
challenge
say
you
to
on that,
yourself, you know
Gizzo.
what
Why
love
does it
is,
make it not sound real?
because
That's
if you say to yourself about the people that you love in your life, that description
Mhm.
doesn't fit that. You're saying you only
uh
love your family members because of a repetition,
no,
or
no.
You're
Well,
misunderstanding what he's saying.
I said love is a feeling or impulse developed from a habit. So the question becomes when you ask, is it toxic? You didn't act like you're asking, is it toxic? Is love toxic? Love is is a feeling or impulse developed from a habit. So no, that is love. It is not toxic. You
Yeah,
say it's not
but
real. That's like saying, oh, well, oxygen isn't real unless like because you need it to turn in, because it can turn into C2O. Nah, bro.
it is toxic
Science
because
and all of that.
you need it and you constantly fiend for it, and I think that
Yeah,
that's
but
the
if you,
situation in love
but
with some
it
people.
doesn't turn into oxygen until it hits certain particles. So, like, yeah, you do need it.
but
So
I think
love is no. It's technical. I don't romanticize nothing. That's
right.
just my get down, and because I think it's safer and easier that way for people to comprehend, and it takes the romanticized
Side of
superficial shit out of it. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, like, people are toxic. Your love is based on your values, morals, proximity, or your addictions. That's what love is based off of: your values, morals, proximity, or addictions. But what love is, it's an impulse or a feeling developed from a habit. You know,
Right. So you think
Okay.
there's such
Okay.
thing as like that saying something like love is blind?
Hell
if
yeah.
your values and morals like move in a blind way, then yeah.
Mm,
Like if you're moving based on that, like if you fall in love with something, if you're leaning into like sex is like everybody loves sex, they love that
right.
feeling, and if you're leaning into that and it's just that, that's what you're leaning into, and it's like, man, you get sprung, a girl would get dick whipped, a dude would get pussy
The
whipped, and
pussy. Right.
excuse my
Right.
French,
Right.
but
Speaking.
if you're moving on that impulse, developed from the habit, then there you go. Like I don't, so if you're moving like it's blind, then it's totally blind. I mean, there's people, we all know Muslim people who have arranged marriage and they learn to love each other,
Right.
and they're like
Right.
great. They're
Right.
great because it's an impulse or feeling developed from a habit.
Right. We got
Okay.
Swipe Guy the engineer in the comments saying love can be blind. I disagree with that. I think it's foolish, but that's just my opinion. I think it's foolish for somebody to meet somebody right out the gate and then feel like, any crazy ass feelings for them because you have nothing, you have no bounds for that. There's no merit in it.
But that's your gauge. That's your
I
gauge.
just said that. I just said that.
And I spoke to somebody that was saying that they'd been married to their wife and didn't fall in love with their wife until 2 years later after the marriage. So everybody doesn't get that definition of love. Is like, well, what's love? There's different definitions. These two
So
people that
then
are fucked up love each
So
other.
then, my question, Gizzo, is why is it so challenging when you hear something that technical to describe love, like a feeling and impulse developed from a habit? Why did that? I don't want
Look,
to
he
speak.
triggered his ass.
Yeah. Like why?
Why is
Like
Charlie
'cause
just
you
trip?
you was
Right.
like, no, man, that's not true. Like, no, dude, it's totally that.
No. I'm talking and I'm being assertive when I talk. So if
Yeah.
I'm being assertive when I talk,
No, no.
you might take that as I'm trying to push a message, but I'm just being direct when I talk. There's different people that have got married at different points, and the way that this
Mm-hmm.
person explained it to me was that there's different versions of love and different people get married for different versions. So I think when we talk about if there's a time limit or if we talk about what is love, or you're giving your dictionary definition of what love is, I think when we're doing that, we're just literally giving our opinion because there is no boundaries for that. I think love is fucking crazy. It's every which way. It's however you experience it. Reggie might meet somebody on the train tomorrow and fall in love with them like crazy for like 2 months. Like, that's his version of love. That would be his version of love.
There's other versions of love.
And
like
then I might meet a girl and be in a relationship with her for a year, and that's my version of love. Like E.
Well,
Johnson said, I never wanted
Hold on, I'll put it back up. He said, I never wanted
kids, but loved my twins as soon as I saw them come out of their mother. Love is real. And that's crazy because that means that he got with his baby mama when she was pregnant by another person. You feel me? So that's like,
No, he said whoa, he never said anything about like being with somebody else. No, he just said I never wanted kids, but love
okay,
my
I
twins.
mistook that. My bad, dog. My bad. I mistook
well,
that.
let me
It
let
looked
me
like he
let
didn't
me
want
let me
kids, and then his girl had kids.
No.
let me
Right, but
clarify. Let me clarify, Gizzo. Like that is not like I didn't look that up in Webster. That is from personal research and self-discovery of understanding how things work when you talk to different cultures, different civilizations, when you travel and all of this type of stuff. When I say impulse developed from a habit, what are you? The question is, what are your habits? Is it blind or when you ask the question, is love blind or is it toxic? Then the question is, are your relationship habits blind or are they toxic? Are your relationship habits blind or toxic? Not you, I'm just saying you, generally.
It's a
Like,
person. Sure.
because love is a feeling or an impulse developed from a habit. You
I
find love.
refuse to think that love is a habit.
Well, why do you have a
It
bad?
doesn't
Well,
even
so then the
sound right when
question
you
is,
say it.
hold on. The question would be then, what do you think a habit is? A habit is anything good or bad. If you work out, like you a pretty cut up dude, Gizzo. So if you work out, that's you working out doing something healthy. That's a habit. That's a habit. You know, you
Me
turn.
breathing is a habit. Me breathing is a
That's not a
habit.
habit.
That's
Yeah,
not
I'm
habit.
doing it every day.
That's
Like
not a habit, sir. That's not a habit. That's a necessity, sir.
a
Yeah.
habit
Yeah.
is something you're addicted to.
You're not addicted to
No,
breathing.
Not addicted to breathing. No, that
a
happens
habit.
automatically from the parasympathetic
You're just saying that it's something
system.
that you
So
do over and over again, and I feel like love just happens to be so mathematically because you're gonna keep doing it day after day. So yeah, it's gonna
that's why
happen
he says
multiple
habit,
times.
right? That's why D Nice said it's a habit. Exactly.
But
So
you
check
could
it
be
out,
with
fellas.
you could be going to work with somebody. You could be going somewhere else with somebody and it be a habit and not fall in love with them.
Okay.
See, bro, this is
Okay.
why I'm saying, like, in terms of differentiating between the different types of love, because it's a lot of different kinds in terms of like categories. Because there's the love you have for your family members, there's the love that you have for like your friends, then there's the love that you have for like a romantic partner. There's different types of love. So, but as far as
But
like the question of is love toxic, I don't think love. Well, damn, I'm sorry, bro. What you finna say?
no, I was gonna thank you for that. Like when you said family, right? You develop a habit of working with, like, I don't know why we have these words have weird stigmas, but like, okay, I love the grandmother that raised me. The grandmother that did not raise me, and I met her a couple of times. She's still living, but I have zero love for her. I don't hate her, man, blessings to her. But when I met her at 17 and I asked her, what should I call you? She was like, nigga, I don't know. You call me Miss Anderson.
God
You know what
damn.
I'm saying? And so I respected that. She
That's not
established
love.
boundaries.
That's
But
not
but
That was a
but
love.
boundary. That was a boundary. It was a
but
harsh one, but a boundary.
but I'm not, she's not owed my love and I'm not owed hers. I have a habit because my grandmother took me in when I was 2. So I developed the habit of loving this woman loving me. It's a habit because it's repetition, is practice. Habits don't mean bad. Like you have a habit of this is my ritual. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I might, if you're Christian, you go to church, you all of this type of stuff. Like habits are not bad. Habits are what you make them. If it's a bad habit, then it's a bad habit. But if it's a bad habit, then something's gotta be a good habit. Working
Right.
out might be a good habit unless you abusing your muscles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Word.
habit is not like, we gotta recontextualize like these terms because that's not what they mean. Habit does not mean bad.
Word, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The way I think of it is, I just think of it as a choice, like a choice and an action. Like you choose who you love. In terms of like a romantic sense, like you know what I'm saying. You choose, like you know what I'm saying, because one thing that
Fact.
you
I don't know
hear,
about that one.
I don't know
I would
about
say
that, bro. You
choose
can't
because-
choose sometimes who you love. You fall in love sometimes. Love is blind,
Whoa,
bro.
hold on.
It comes crazy.
Well, a lot of times people confuse love with lust. Nigga, you just be want to fuck people.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of
Okay,
times that don't
okay.
be love, nigga. You're sexually attracted to a person. You want to have sex with them. That's not love.
Mm-hmm.
That just mean you think they look. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people confuse that with love. And when
I'm
you
not
say
talking
love
about
is-
those situations. I'm talking about
But
when
how
you
can-
really meet somebody and love them, fall in love with them.
But that's fine. But what I'm saying is, love at first sight to me, I think that's bullshit because that's lust. When you see a person, you're attracted to them. You don't know them, so how can you love them? But you know what I'm saying? You don't know shit about them. But in terms of love, I think that's a choice and I think it's a choice that you make every day. You have to choose that person because one thing I talk to when I've spoken to married people or people who've been in long relationships for a long time is that it's work. Like love is not easy. Like you know what I'm saying?
Relationships are work,
Relationships
period.
are work,
They're
right?
work.
Because love is entailed when you're in a relationship. So when you love a person, you enter into a relationship with them. You have to keep that. You have to keep that going. You have to keep that relationship active.
Work
You
at
have to
it.
keep it vital.
Right.
You know what I'm
How do
saying?
you choose? How do you choose a partner? How do you choose a partner?
Well, different
How do
people
you?
choose different ways. The way you choose depends on your individual value system and your beliefs. So a person who is like,
Oh, bam! Values, moral proximity,
yeah,
or
And
addiction.
repetition.
of
There we
course.
go.
Okay.
So of course. So the way different people choose different ways, but usually it's based off of your culture, your morals, your values. Religion usually is a part of it.
Proximity or
You know what I'm
addictions.
saying?
You choose them. Thank you. You
Sure, I
choose a
guess.
mate based on values, morals, proximity, or addictions.
I don't know about the addictions part, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
they,
the other
man,
shit makes sense.
Listen,
Um,
your wire, a person's wires can be crossed up sexually, and they confuse, like D Nick was saying earlier, they can confuse sex with love.
Bad habits.
Lust. Yeah.
No, love.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm
Like,
saying
that's a
like
real thing,
sex
like
as
a-
in lust. Sex,
No,
all
I'm
sex
saying a
is, bro.
person can mistake sex as love.
That's
Or
what I'm
you-
saying. And sex meaning lust is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I hear you on that. I'm just
That's all
saying.
it is. It's just
That's
lust.
one part.
Sex.
Another part is, like certain habits, again, like-minded goals, and like, I mean, how many people like find, like, share interests, and it develops from that. Like you choose mates based on, again, like, I know I take the romanticized parts out of it, but if you remove the flowery language and you keep it technical, like, I mean, all of that exists, all of that's going to be there, all of that's going to develop. That's how you have so many, like, cultures that do arranged marriages and make it work. Even traditionally Christian and Catholic cultures, they didn't date. That's some new shit. Everybody used to court. It's just like, oh,
Right.
you're single, you're in this church, or you're in this temple, you're in this mosque, you would be a perfect mate for this person. And then you court, you get, like, on that type of level. Even with your friends, like, you pick your friends, like, man, you're good at this, you're good at that, da 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 da. We have a like-minded, interest. We have like-minded goals. Oh man, you're a good person. I like your moral compass. You make beats, I write rhymes. This is perfect. We have the same, like, if you
That's
take
before
the,
Tinder and Facebook dating.
huh?
That's before Tinder and Facebook dating.
No, but it's still the same
still the
thing
same.
when they
It's
just,
the
Yeah,
same
but
thing.
but now you don't have to court. you're not having to court, you're not having to do all those things that you're saying and go deep into somebody's shit. Now it's not like that no more. That's why I think the definition of love just keeps getting watered down and watered down, because everyone's just version of it is different. And if guess what? If you and me don't fall in love in a couple months, I'll just activate my Facebook dating profile or my Tinder profile and I'll be on to the next. Like,
But
Man,
that's
bro,
not
that's the thing,
love.
bro.
That's
It's
that's
not
that's
love.
that's
That's a
that's
person looking
uh
for some.
that's approaching.
these
Hookup.
kids' version of love, though. That's their
That's
version
looking
of
for the
love.
wrong
That's
shit.
not
That's
real
somebody
love,
that's
bro.
insecure. That's somebody that's
just fucking.
probably has abandonment.
Do you have a Tinder?
Fuck buddies.
Do you have a
Fuck buddies.
Tinder? Do you have a
No.
Tinder?
I used to.
Nah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, unless you're in there, it's just that's what it is. That's your version of shit. People nowadays just
Man, bro.
What love gets watered down.
Hey,
But
let me say something in general, bro. I don't really care, man. Me personally, and this is why I don't do a lot of like discourse with people who like use a lot of these mainstream terms and shit, is because I don't care for like this whole everybody thinking they own a version of a thing, like, oh, it's my truth or his truth. It's like, bro, there is the truth and then the rest is lies. There is no my truth, his truth, and your truth. There's what you believe
Right.
happened or your interpretation.
Right. I
But
say
that's
that
not
all
a
the time.
truth. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's just your interpretation
I
of
say
events.
that all the
But
time.
and then there is the actual truth, and then there's lies.
Right.
But so, well, that's his love or her love. No, well, that's lust usually. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that love is love. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then everything else besides that is something else. So even in the question that started the show, is love toxic? No, I don't think love is toxic. I think obsession is toxic. I think being controlling is toxic. That people often confuse being controlling and obsessive and jealous for love. No, you're just controlling and obsessive and jealous. That don't mean you're in love with me. You just want to control me, and you're jealous and you're obsessive.
We got
that
E-
don't mean you're in
Real
love
talk.
with me though. Like, that's something else.
we got E. Johnson in the building. He says, I disagree with the addiction and habits angle. I have both, which I do not love at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like the habitual thing kind
You-
of goes with, like it's not real love. It's obsession. You're obsessed. That don't mean you love something. That
Go
don't
ahead,
mean you like
D-Nick.
want to fucking skin it and fucking make a lamp out of it. But that don't mean you love it.
Right.
Go ahead, D.
like, I mean, I guess people just gotta really. For me, it's just like, man, everybody's definitions is bugging out. Like, like it's. But when I say addictions, I'm specifically talking about how people choose partners and friends. People
Right.
choose partners and friends based on these principles of values, morals, proximity, or addictions.
What does the addiction
That's
space
how,
mean though, bro?
well,
That's the only part I don't understand. The rest of it makes sense.
if you're trauma bonding through sex and you're addicted to sex, then that could be one. That's something
But
that you
that's not
guys get
love,
along
though.
with. I didn't say it was. I said it's how people pick partners or mates, pick homies
Oh,
and
okay.
mates,
I got you.
and
Okay,
then
that makes
love
sense.
develops. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And so like people are addicted to drugs and they're bonding over their addiction. People are addicted to hip hop.
Hey,
They're bonding over that. People
but
are
them crackhead
addicted,
couples be together forever, don't they?
huh?
They be together. I said them crackhead couples be together forever, don't they?
They have an
Absolutely.
addiction together. They have that
That
in common.
addiction. They share
20
that common
years, nigga.
bond.
They be on the
Yeah,
street 20
I'm not
years.
like we're conflict, like even to say like people find love on Tinder. Tinder is a mechanism for people to meet people. Now,
And
if
that's cool.
you choose to find love in that, depending on where your moral compass or your value system is, it's like, oh, this person, whatever that is skewed on your thing, then that's what it is. So it always goes back to self. Self is what will make it toxic or not. It's open ended. If you're talking about what is love, love is, a feeling or an impulse developed from a habit. You know what I'm saying? How do you pick, a partner, a friend, or a lover? Values, morals, proximity, or addictions. When you see somebody who's a piece of shit and they're dogging someone out, the question is, you ask them. I'm a counselor, so I've talked to people about this. Like, why was you with this motherfucker? And eventually I'm like, man, the dick was good. Oh, well, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, he looked out for me. He was taking care of this baby. like you really looked out for. Oh, okay, I get it. Like you fuck with him because
Served
he
a
was
need.
looking out for the kid,
Served a
or
need.
man,
Served a need.
she held me down when I was broke, and now, but I don't like her, but she held me down, and so I just now I'm used to her. Now it's like I'm just used to having her around me. Oh, okay, you developed this. It's all a pattern. It's all a pattern, but it starts with self. When you ask the question, is love toxic or is love blind?
Let's get
That's
that other
based on
comment
how
up
you
there.
choosing.
Right.
How you
Swipe got
choosing?
Swipe got the engineer said that's why this new age of love, this new age way of love is whack. The old school way is courting, which I feel is the proper way of finding love. But you can't, dude. I was in the dating arena, like not that far back. Like
That's not
it's
courting though,
hard, bro.
Gizzo.
That courting
That's
shit, you
dating.
could court
That's
somebody
dating.
and
That ain't
you
courting. That ain't
look,
courting.
no,
That's
no.
not.
You can court somebody and find out in a couple of dates that they're fucking crazy, man. Dating is crazy. I don't know if y'all been in the dating pool, but it's I'm serious. It's
ain't
crazy.
lying,
And you might meet a girl and she might be cool for the first 3-4 times and then start acting crazy.
Hey,
like,
bro, let me say something on that because you talk about age groups, right? So being like the youngest person, right? So
oh, you
Young
gonna do
gun.
us like that?
It's
Young
just what
gun.
it
It's
is.
all right. Go ahead.
But yo,
I'm not
You
that
got a
far
perspective.
behind Reggie.
hey, it's just what it is.
out.
But
Go ahead,
yo,
Reggie. Yeah.
so
Go ahead.
in terms
Fuck
of
outta
courting,
here.
bro, it's a lot of things that make that a tough reality these days for like modern people
Hmm.
now. Because one
Hmm.
is first and foremost is economics, right? Like dating costs money. All these things cost money. Weddings cost money. None of that shit is free. Somebody got to pay for it, right? So when you have half of the country living on like 30K a year or less, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of makes it. And when we're living in something of like a state of like economic downturn and inflation and things like that, that makes that difficult, right? Because courting costs money, and when a lot of the men don't have the money, can't do it. So there's economic disadvantage
Hey, well, what do you mean, man?
Look, man,
you ain't
this
got to
girl
give a
called-
dude some money.
this
He
girl
gonna do
called
it. He
the
gonna find a
show-
way.
This girl called the show
Well-
and said she made 55K a year, and if you weren't making that, you couldn't date her.
there it is.
Yep.
And there
We
are
had
women
that.
that are making money, which is fine. There's no problem with women making money, but the issue with that is their standards rise up with that, because a woman wants either you to be usually above her level, right?
Not all women.
And what
No,
is
some of
that?
those
I
women
just want to
said-
make. I just want to make
some women
sure.
said that
I want to make sure we
stay
clear.
way
Reggie,
up.
what is that? What is that called? What is that called?
It's called hypergamy, sir. That in terms of
When-
women wanting a partner that's like above their level. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a value system. That's what it's
Well,
called.
yeah.
The value system.
yeah, that's part
Bam.
of it. Yeah.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
right, and that's part
I
of
just
our
want to
culture.
keep score. Yeah. I just
Yeah.
want to keep score.
Word. And so that's part of
I
our
like
culture.
that. Okay.
The culture that we live in is that the Western culture traditionally a man is supposed to be a provider. When you court, you're supposed to pay for the dates, do all this shit, pick up, which is cool. So
Ice cream dates.
there it is, coffee. Anyway, economically, so that's making that a difficult reality. Men are making less money, women are making more. So that's one factor. Two, you have cultural factors. So now there's like things like feminism and all this woke stuff and LGBTism. So that's also confusing the dynamics a little bit, because among the younger generations, that's way more of a factor in terms of dating and relationships and things like that. So now when you have two women dating, like who picks up the check? Who pays the bill? We got to figure that out. No
already
one
seeing
knows.
women
Women dating, I
You know
can
what
tell
I'm
you
saying?
which one.
So, but these are questions that
Manny
are now
Fresh
being
is
asked.
picking up the tab.
There it is.
I'm already getting anxiety from all of this shit. This shit is so.
That's what, bro.
Yo, for real,
but
like,
this is
no,
the new
no,
world
no,
now.
Hey,
I'm
that's the
saying,
new
though,
world. Welcome to the dating pool.
Fuck out of here.
Hold,
I'm just saying, like,
wait. I want
this
to
is so.
because Reggie hit with a lot of
Kind of stuff.
like dope like situations
Points.
that
Right.
are here. Everybody, the cool thing about it, like, is we're writing the rules ourselves.
Right.
We
Yeah, we
write the
having to.
rules. Like, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm a black dude. I come from cotton picking black folks, and we have always wrote the rules ourselves. Like, like there was no the man stays home. My grandmother worked just like my grandfather worked. I don't know. That's people that was suffering from like Caucasoid envy. You know what I'm saying? Because we've always worked. like man and woman. You know what I'm saying? That's some more other people's stuff. Like I can't speak to those other cultures and all those other things. It's just sad that some people assimilate. You have the option though, as Americans, we have the option to assimilate to certain narratives and play by certain rules or not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQIAPP plus community did. They were like, "Yo, we're not gonna play by the rules, and we're gonna do this way." Like these things can be learned. You can learn it. You can adjust. You have that option. You have the World Wide Web that where there's Tinder, and you could just set your filters on like I want this type of person based on my values or my morals. How close do you live by me? That's based on my proximity. What
Word,
you
bro. But it's
into?
just like the last time I was here, right? The last time I was here, it's just kind of like the war of values, right? Like we keep talking about values and culture, but it is that because you have, there are people that go by that, like how you say assimilating to the narrative. There are a lot of people that go by that culturally, and then there are a lot of people that, like you say, want to divert from that. So it's really just finding the person that's on your side of things. You know what I'm saying? And defining what it is exactly that you're looking for based on your values.
well,
So
well, how do you court? You said it's impossible to court right now. How do you
no. I
court?
said it makes it very difficult for a lot of
Oh,
people. It's
okay.
not
I'm
impossible.
sorry. My
Yeah.
apologies. Makes it how do you know how to court? How does courtships work? Do you know how courtships work?
Yeah, sure. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
that
You
was a
have
deep ass breath. Somebody who knows for sure.
Because it's
yeah.
complicated, very
Well,
complicated.
well, yeah, it's just a process of like
Biomadrass.
spending time with a person, you know what I'm saying, consulting with their family. It's like the traditional. Now, if you want to go like super traditional, like the back in the days, like asking for people's hand in marriage, asking their fathers and elders for their hand in marriage. It was dowries and things like that and other type of shit. But yeah,
All right.
that
That
whole
those
thing.
are
But
no, you're right. Those are traditional colloquialism.
yeah,
If you modern it up, you
it's
know,
like dates and
is you're a part of a
gifts.
community and there's someone else in that community that members of that community see, and I'm my reference is like a lot of my Muslim homies. Like I'm not Muslim for the record, but a lot of my Muslim homies, they'll be like, yo, this person, like, yo, this person is single.
Relax.
You should da 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 da. And they'll plant bugs in the air because in Muslim culture especially for the brothers, they won't fully fulfill their deen unless they take a wife. So they have a community of people like that know him, know her, and is like, yo, this is a person for you. You have meetings, and I know it's not
Courtship,
romantic and it's not
courtship,
sexy and
right?
it's not romantic and all
Well,
of that stuff,
romance is more of a
but
modern invention. So,
huh.
I said romance is more of a modern invention. So,
Yes,
Exactly.
sir.
So like fuck all of that. You know what I'm saying? So they have a community and then everybody in the community is like, yo, this is the person that's best that
man,
we think is best suited for you. If they meet your superficial needs, if you talk to them and it's like, man, we're on the same accord, you have like courtship, whether that's like, a
yo,
couple weeks, couple months, boom.
let me say something on that real fast, bro. In terms of
Yeah.
communities and courtship, right? A
Mhm.
reason that traditional courtship is difficult is because the family structure in this country is so damaged, right? Like,
Yes. Speak.
traditionally, very few of us in my experience talking to people, especially people my age, like 30 and under. I'm 29, right? So people like
Mhm.
30 and under. I have like a little brother who's 18, young cousin who's 16. They're out there dating, doing things. I talk to them. They talk to me about it. But the
Yeah.
reason that's difficult is because our family structures are so like fucked up. A lot of the
Yeah.
reasons people make poor mate decisions is because they don't run it by anyone. They don't run it by
Very
mama,
good.
grandma, daddy, uncle, cuz nobody that loves them, even though they dating this person. Next thing they know, cousin Lil Kiki come
They
up
in a
pregnant. You're
bad.
like, how's you even pregnant? We
Right.
didn't know you was with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody runs their decisions by anybody. So a part of courtship is you have to bring this person before your family, your elders, and get their opinion and get there and say, hey, do you think this person would be a good mate for me? Only the people who would know you from the day you was born would know. You know what I'm saying? They know you best.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
well,
So if you have a
well,
but hold
maybe,
on, but this
maybe.
what I'm saying though is that our family structure is fucked up right now. So when you have uncles or mothers who are on drugs, or you're estranged from them, or you don't know them, or they don't know you, then that makes that difficult, right? And you can't really do that. So that's
Well then fuck your family. Then what's your community like?
exactly other people you love and trust and that you know and that love you.
So then that's who you courtship with in your community.
Hold on, y'all. Let's get to the comments real quick. Let's tap in with Swipe God the engineer. He says nowadays people don't marry for love; they marry for convenience. And that's
they never did. They developed love. They never married for love. That's a lie. That's a Dr. Cologne type of lie.
Disprove love. That's not true. Everybody's not like that.
No, bro. I'm not trying to disprove love. What I'm saying is the invention of marriage was more often than not a political tool back in the day. It was for kingdoms and fiefdoms and like different political entities.
Yeah, but unions of two people
marrying their relatives.
But unions
to preserve power and resources.
Yeah, but unions of two people is not fake. Like I don't think the union of maybe marriage.
I'm not saying that in these unions these people never loved each other.
This is exactly why he got triggered.
Maybe marriage in the word itself, but I'm not talking about marriage as a title. I'm just talking about a unionship between two people where you know that's your person.
And let me tell you something.
Everyone has their human, and you kind of know who your human is.
Jizzo, that's why your ass got triggered. Because he took the romanticism out of it. You're talking romance and shit.
Bro, I mean, it's all that.
When he took the romance out of it, that shit triggered.
But that conversation has always triggered me because when I hear people say that they got married for convenience, it doesn't make sense to me.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing. But getting married for convenience, bro, is a marriage of practicality that makes sense, right? It's like if you are a person who's on a path to try to be like, say, a mayor or like in politics. It wouldn't really make sense for you to date a person who's like a sex worker or like a fucking, you know what I'm saying, or like a stripper. Like it wouldn't really make sense for you.
Why?
It would make more sense for you to marry. Hold on, wait. It would make more sense for you to marry like
a person's choice of employment doesn't have shit to do with who they are as a person.
No. I'm not saying it does. No, yes, it does. But it does.
We ain't gonna get you as married. You got 3 strippers as a girlfriend. Like no, bro.
Yeah, bro. Your occupation has.
It's not good
the
for
thing
your
that you choose to do 8 to 10 hours a day kind of says something about who you are.
If you say some crazy shit, they will get your ass and fire you.
Fired. You'll be fired.
We already know
D-Nice?
that part.
I'm Nick. D-Nick.
Excuse me, D. Excuse me.
Hey, D-Nice is from...
That's another fella. That's
another movie.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, bro, but in terms of marriage, though, marriage has like several forms to it, right? There are romantic marriages, which is more of like a modern thing. And then there's political marriage, and then there's marriage as like a function of religion. You know what I'm saying? So there's like different angles to marriage. So it just depends on like what, I guess, angle you want to come at it from, to be fair.
But there are some people, and just as Jizzle just spoke, who the romanticism of marriage is there. And you know, like he said, it upsets him when you take that out of it because that's part of his belief system, though. That's part of his belief system.
Jizzle like that romance, man. He's a romantic.
No, I'm just saying it's part of his belief system.
I like the thought of a unionship between two human beings, whether it's a man or a woman, a man or a man, or a woman and a woman. I like the idea of having a companionship in this life because you need to. Maybe you don't need. Maybe you don't need to.
You can get a dog and it's a companion, bro. A cat.
Shout out to Daisy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on. Now,
but you feel me though? You love the. Do you want to be alone? All right, let me ask this question: do you want to be alone?
As a human being, I don't want to be alone.
Do you want to be alone?
No, sir.
No, the fuck you don't.
Okay, but what I'm saying is don't say companion.
Y'all talking about this companionship shit like it's fucking foreign.
I didn't say nothing about that.
I didn't say it was foreign.
Real, man. People love people and we want to be with people.
I did not say it was foreign. I just responded off of what you said.
It's not foreign, man. This is fucking real life.
I didn't say it was foreign, is what I said, because you said you guys say
hey, man, look, I love romance too.
But what I said was...
Y'all love romance. That's why y'all sing R&B. That's why y'all sing Usher and shit. 6 o'clock on the dot. 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in the drop top, cruising the streets. I got a real pretty girl.
That's the fuckery, bro. I'm
serious.
I made the comment because you said companionship.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You can have a companion as a fucking dog or a fucking cat or a fucking bird. Yes,
that's not the same. That's not the same.
To you, maybe.
A
But as
dog
we-
and a woman that's a real woman as a companion is the same
There are
thing.
people all over the fucking planet that do it all day long. They would care less to be with a human being.
But I
They'd
bet
rather-
you no, they
You ever
do
heard
it.
of a
They
cat
do
lady?
it. They do it, but I bet you they wish they came home to a fucking hug and a cuddle in the blankets.
Dogs will
Fuck
hug
that.
you all day long.
Cuddle in the blankets.
A cat will cuddle up right next to you. After it looks
true.
like you a straight bitch, but it'll still do it. A dog will cuddle with you. A dog knows when you're sad.
A dog's
when you're
not the
upset.
same thing as a
I
woman.
didn't say it was.
So it doesn't. So you're
What I
not. So
said
don't
was
match it.
my
Don't
brother,
match it
I
to it.
said companionship. That's all I spoke on. Is companionship.
Human companionship is what I meant. Let me
Okay.
specify
Yeah,
that.
specify
Human
that.
companionship.
Because anybody, you can have a fucking companion. You can get a dog, man.
You can be
Go
strong
adopt
and
a
you can
dog.
be strong-willed and know that you can go fucking eat dinner by yourself and go to the movies by yourself, and I believe that you can be
Strong will. That takes strong will. To
yeah,
go
it
to
takes
dinner
a
by
strong
yourself?
it takes a you know what I mean, it takes
Oh my
getting
God.
comfortable with yourself. It takes getting comfortable with yourself for sure.
So you don't drive in the car by
No,
yourself?
I'm
You
talking-
need
I'm-
somebody with you all the fucking time?
I'm talking real shit. When you get out
Even
of
in a relationship,
when
my
you
brother,
get
you
out of a
still need
rela-
individuality in a
when-
relationship.
when you
You still
get
need
out-
individuality.
when you get
still
out of-
need space in a relationship.
Bro, I wrote a poem about this. When you get out of a relationship, you have to learn how to do things again by yourself.
What are you, two?
OT has been doing shit with his wife for the last how many years, OT?
That's a
17
habit,
years.
right? You got to break
Are
a
you gonna
habit,
be able
right?
to go to fucking back to
Did that
normal
breaking a
to-
habit, Gizzo? That's breaking a habit, right?
Yeah, it's a habit. It's a habit.
Okay. That-
It's a habit, man. But you know, I like to romanticize about the love part of it because I'm a fucking romantic. I
No,
wanna.
fuck me, man.
Bro,
Are you
bro, it's important. Look, man, I'm not kicking no dirt on you on the love part. That is very important because that's the fuel that fuels it to go on, right? But that's not always how it's developed. And some people, there's a train of thought that feels like if it's love first, then other things are off. So if you fall in love before you make sure values and morals are aligned, like your purpose for being with this person, then that makes things sticky. That makes things really, really sticky. Like you got to think about how are you choosing a person? Because if you're a toxic person, choosing a toxic person. If you're a naive person, choosing a toxic person, it's all bad. That's why to take out the romanticism, I put the equation in there. Love is an impulse or a feeling developed from a habit. How do you choose your mate? Values, morals, proximity, or addiction. If you want a sister, if you want a badass sister, because some people are like, what does proximity got to do with it? Well, if I want a black woman and I live in Goose Lake, Iowa, it's gonna be a little tough. Like I'm in Goose Lake, Iowa.
Yeah.
These are the things. What are we bonding over? What is our interest? Is our interest just our going out to the club or the drugs we using or or how good the sex is? That's our interest. All right, there's good that comes in like the companionship and all that, but that's developed. You fall in love with this person, like, man, my woman a custody, but man, she cool as shit, man. I'm used to her. God damn it, I've been with her for a long time. I love her. That's what it is.
D-Nick, do you put location, proximity, necessity,
and addiction.
Values, morals, proximity, and addictions. Yes.
Value, morals. Okay, so do any one of those trump the other in your choice?
That depends on you, but we've known people who that does. Like some people I've met I don't got no judgments on nobody. I done met custies that are great fucking parents. You know what I'm saying? But they custies. You know what I'm saying? So depending on you, if you love them, if you rank the values or you rank the morals higher, depend versus other things and cool. But some people, we all know addicted motherfuckers, and that shit that shit ranks high over people. It's your equation, it's your whole get down, and that's what is toxic.
Yeah.
That's what can become toxic. If
I
you're
think
just
race, nationality should be part of that equation too, because I think
you said
that's
what?
like race, nationality. That's a big part of it too.
That's based on your values. Some people don't value
Or
like black
proximity.
women or black men or Latinos or whatever the fuck you are. Some people just value a religion. Okay, then you know you're gonna have a mixed relationship. Some people is like, no, my ethnicity and my nationality is important to
It's
me
forefront.
first.
Right.
You know, like you know, I mean, I don't know if maybe Reggie know and OT know. Y'all know that some of know them Pan Africans is like race first, race first. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like that's a thing. And so if that's where your value system is, like man, that's what it is race first. If it's drugs first, then there we go.
Drugs
If it's
first.
like
If it's alcohol first, yeah,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there we
throw that in
go.
there. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, and even that, speaking of that, just from my own perspective, that even though I was in a relationship, the alcohol came first.
Mm-hmm.
So like my compass was all the way off. Not the moral well, it could be the moral compass, but my compass was all the way the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Because I valued that more than I did anything else.
Yeah.
But I was still in a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
Still in love. But my
Yep.
So
thought
let me
was,
let, let me
you know
let
what I
me tell
mean?
y'all a story about a guy I met while I was working. I'll put it like that. And it's kind of a sad situation. I heard about it, but I had never. You ever hear a thing called county born, state raised?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I met a cat that was doing a lot of time, doing a lot of time. I mean, he had 25 with an L. And somewhere
Mm.
along the line, during our interactions, the young man told me, he says, "OT, I've never been told I'm loved." I don't know why he opened up to me one day, but so I said, "What do you mean by it? What the fuck you talking about?" So he says, "I was dropped off as a baby, so I was born in the county and literally raised through the state system." So he'd never been
Mhm.
told, other than whenever he was following one of those addictions like you talked about earlier, or doing with the gang. They kind of told me, "Oh, we got you, we love you, homeboy. You got to
Yeah,
do this
yeah.
to us." And I thought, wow, that broke like everybody's face right now. I stopped. I was like, and I'm a pretty macho man type guy, but I was like, fuck. So then it puts in perspective, like you
It's
guys
almost
talk
and
about,
it's almost incomprehensible that somebody could feel that way. But the fact of the matter is, it happens all the fucking time. And the
all the
other
time.
part
All
of
Yes,
the
sir.
that is,
time.
Yes,
and
sir.
the
Yes,
other
sir.
part of that is that fucks up the wires in the brain. That fucks up the
Yes.
wires in the brain because then if that person, if it, God bless him if he ever gets out or whatever, his what he thinks of love and how he is going to handle relationships is going to be absolutely, well, I don't know, but in just from to me, because I've known people like that have been like that they've never heard love or felt love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I myself, in growing up, a lot of times didn't feel loved, and so how
Right.
I how I approached relationships were fucking crazy and different. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Man,
Because I was seeking something and I was reaching. I mean, like really, truly reaching overly hard for
Trying to find
something,
it. Yes.
trying to find
Right.
something that wasn't there, which led me in a lot of fucked up relationships.
Yo, man. 2 weeks ago, like y'all, speaking of that, like 2 weeks ago, it was a requirement in like, in my job, in my practice, I had to go on a mandatory men's retreat. And
Okay. Yes, sir.
one of the final things, like there was an exercise where we were really, you talk about getting into the shit, we were really getting into the shit. And one of the final things is like, you're in the group of three and it's like, look at each other. We have been together for the whole weekend. Like we sleeping
Week.
together, like in the bunks and all of this type of stuff. No phones, no computers, nothing. So we like the final activity was like, look at each other and talk to each other. Look in this man in his eyes and talk to each other. Like, tell him how great he is without saying a word. That was an activity that we had to do. And a lot of, and I'm talking about like, I'm a counselor, but some of the people that I was in this whole retreat with, and some of these brothers was like, they was felons. They were some were other counselors, but a lot of them were felons. And, like,
Huh?
criminals that the society would deem as criminals and all of this type of stuff, just and they're going through this whole thing, and they've never it's like, man, first they're like, man, it's gay, I ain't looking, and it's like, okay, and then you just looking each other in the eyes. We never, like, a lot of them, they all broke down crying. They all broke
So,
down crying because they've never
right,
had nobody look them in the eye and like, man, you a good person, love you,
right,
and all that. Not saying no
right.
words, just looking
Yeah.
each other in the eyes,
Say that. Say
touching
that
the
sparks
shoulder,
it.
all of that. It was intense, bro. It was the most intense thing that I've had to do with a lot of these people, and it was heavy, man. It was really really heavy, and that's how it goes, man. And that's why I don't take the romanticism out, like, to be malice or even to be like, oh man, you talking it's a sucker. No, man, love is important. Romantics is important, but it get not but period new sentence. It gets deflected and it mucks up things if it misused. The sad part is everything that we love and we get down with can be weaponized against us.
Right.
Everything. Everything
Right.
can be weaponized against us. Your love, your compassion, your hope, it can be weaponized against you.
Can
And that's
become
kind of
toxic.
the
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's true,
that's
man.
kind of the
Shout out,
danger.
shout out,
Yeah.
shout out to Sid Vicious Media and the Eclectic City on YouTube, who said great lighting, fellas. Great lighting on this one. Shout out to you, man. Thank you, brother. I felt like this is a good look.
Yeah. I just, man, I don't really like throwing myself in there, but sometimes the conversation kind of leads always in these directions because, we all are going through a lot of shit in our lives, different shit at different times. And just to speak on that in particular, what you're talking about, D Nick, um, coming out of drinking, and I shit, I say it because it's just my reality right now is coming out of drinking and everything, and then fucking realizing shit because it was low key. It was like I'm remembering things, I'm seeing things now for what they are and what they mean to me now, not and not drinking and not getting fucked up and hiding behind alcohol or whatever. But the crazy part about it is now I'm over here like fuck. I'm head over heels in love. I'm this, I'm that, because I was in a like low key, like in a coma. And the shit to me is like, man, but I'm still in a sense lost because I'm figuring out now how to even engage in that conversation. Number one, number two, to show the love the right way, and that's even with my fucking kids. To show the love the
Yeah.
right way, you know what I mean? If there is a right way or a wrong way to love, but yeah, all of these things are just crazy to me, and sometimes I sit at night and literally I don't have anybody that I'm sitting and touching on the shoulder and breaking down, but I literally at night, like, especially like the last couple of months, man, just been sitting back and just after everybody's gone to bed and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I literally come to tears because it's a lot to take in. It
Yeah.
is a lot. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And especially if you're dealing with it from a like a different angle, like I may as well have been in prison my entire life or a good majority of my life, and because I didn't work off of those set of values and things of that nature, at up until that point. And so now with being like, I ain't like woke, I'm not woke or no shit like that, but my mind is very clear and I'm thinking about all the things and I'm thinking about time that I've missed. I'm thinking about all of this stuff and it
Own
is
that shit, brother.
fucking
You are woke.
it is overwhelming because I was broken. I understand that I was also broken before I even got up in this shit. I
Right.
was fucked up
Yeah.
and coming to terms with those things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And those things had dictated how I maneuvered and how I moved in everyday life.
Right.
For shit. Probably since I became aware as a fucking human being, around 5-6 years old. Those are really informative years and shit. I started being, whatever in the fuck I ended up being. You know what I mean? But it's I understand exactly where you was coming from with that. But that shit hit because I was like, man, fuck, that's the same. It's like, man, like, when my kids touch me now, it's different. It feels different. You know what I mean? Everything feels different. And then
I'll send you the
it's also being
I'll send you
weaponized
the
against you
info
too, though. It's
of that
also
weekend. Like you can do that weekend too, Heat. I'll send you the info of that weekend.
my man's.
You'll probably be fighting in the beginning, like, man, fuck this. But by the
No.
end
Actually,
you'll be like, whoa.
Listen, I say a lot of shit and do a lot of shit, but I'm an understanding man, and I've come to grips with a lot of shit. I've come to terms with a lot of shit. So
You better than me, because a lot of us was fussing and fighting. It was like, man, fuck this old weird shit. But by the end, it was intense.
I am open to all discussion. I'm open to all conversation. I'm open to
No, they get you into action. You're away for a weekend, no phones, no computers, no nothing.
no
You're
distractions,
just
right?
Hey,
yeah.
listen, man.
You're
I've been to
just
prison. So listen,
yeah.
I'm built for this shit. Yeah,
Built for it, right?
I know how to sit
through that.
down and be quiet. I know how to sit down and just be in that moment. I know how to. I know how to. It was forced upon me, but I know how to do it. It was taught to me how to do it. So I know how to do it. I do it every day in the house a lot of times.
And like I told y'all before, one of my other professions in the military, that was one of the things we did. We take all that. We take the phones. We take what you think is important to you, and you have to come. And you see that some people come to Jesus moment, or a come to Allah
Yep.
moment, whatever you need to come to, because you need to
Right.
stop. And we take all the distractions. I take all the hats. I take away all the cute clothes some of them come up there with, and we strip them down and take them to there. So
I want to read a special comment by Sid Vicious Media and the Eclectic City. He said, "Shout out to Heat on the major growth this year." Pause.
Hold on, let me click it back on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
The comment went away. He said, "Shout out to Heat on the major growth this year." Pause. Sobriety fits you well, big bro.
Shout out to you.
That's what's up, man.
510. Shout out to you, my brother out in Vegas, man. Love you, bro. Cool. I appreciate you. Salute. Yeah, I mean, it's been a fucking journey. And it's been, that's why, like, love, toxicity, all of this shit, relationships and everything, man. To be very frank, man, I ain't trying, man, look, man, the thought of even trying to jump in the dating pool right now, it ain't scary, but it's like, man, fuck all that, man. Fuck all that. There's too much shit. What I really don't have patience for is a lot of fuckery in it, you know what I mean? And
dating pool got pee in it, man. You don't want to.
Yeah. And maybe a couple little doo-doos floating around, but
yeah,
man.
Couple little doo-doos.
Yeah, a couple little. So I mean, it's tough. I mean, even relationships are tough. Love is tough. Relationships are work, man. They are.
It's work, yes, sir.
Reggie was looking like, man, I pissed in it a couple times before I got off the
pool. he the main one. He peed in the pool and then left it for everybody else to swim and soak.
I was just messing with you, brother. I was just messing with you.
Yeah, I love for you, Reggie. All good, bro. Yeah, but it's tough. It's tough, and even love within itself, I don't think people realize the amount of faith and trust and understanding that you really need to put into it before it even fucking begins to work.
Can you be young and know about love?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, it's developed. It's developed. You know about love. Yeah, age ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right. Yes,
None
sir.
at all, man. I'm
because we talk about a lot of people in love that are. We talk about people that are young and in love and kind of be like, how the conversation be sometimes. They, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Oh, look at them. They about to get married or somewhere. And they're young as hell. Like, I've heard those conversations before.
That's just foolishness, though, man.
Well, it's based on their maturity and, like, are they willing to handle? Like, here's the thing that people, when you talk about, like, because I'm big about this, we talk about taking the romanticism out of it. That if you get married and you do those traditional vows, for better or for worse, what's the worst shit that can happen? Not the superficial shit. What's the worst shit that you can live with? Because you got this person for better or for worse. Well, if your wife lost her arms and lost her legs and she was just a stump, just a big ass stump, and you got to carry her around on the backpack everywhere and wipe
Why
her
she gotta
ass.
be a big
No,
stump?
but he's making a
You're making a
valid
point
ass
though.
point.
Yeah, it's a burden. Yeah, that's a burden you
What
bring to
can
I don't
you
think
do
nobody's ready
that?
for that. Nobody's ready for that at any point in
Nah,
their
then you
life.
ain't ready to get married
Romanticize
because you
We in
love.
said
love.
for better or for worse. I am. Well,
That's
you
it.
can't say nobody. I am.
You can
Right.
If,
still
if
fall
if
out
you
of
lost your
love.
arms and limbs, like I thought about this type of shit before I made
Yes,
those
sir.
plunges. Like you
Yes,
got to
sir.
think about like we romanticize too much shit. If the arms and legs is gone, could you be like, man, superficially I could still get dome. You know what? I'm dedicated. I took care of my grandmother and I
God
cleaned my.
damn,
No,
man.
you gotta.
Why you
It's a
gotta
Tech
go
talk.
spectrum,
there?
bro.
Talk real. Real.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about
He said I can
maturity.
still get done.
LGBTQIAPP plus can have a spectrum, but we can't have a spectrum. Get the fuck
Right.
out of here. You got to think about for better or for worse.
For
The most
worse.
asinine thing is like if just me, is like if the arms and legs just fell off and I gotta carry this motherfucker on a backpack like everywhere I go, wipe their ass, wipe their pussy. Can I
Hey
do
man,
that?
Oh my
And
hey
God,
man,
a
goddamn, I
look.
could
backpack.
do that.
Hey man,
God
look. We
damn
Yes.
would
it, I
have
could
to.
do that.
Hey man, look. We would have to look into some sort of prosthetic limbs. We're gonna have
Well,
to
that's
look
for
into
We
you.
can
That's
do
for
something.
you.
that.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
talking. That's for
Yeah.
you.
We
That's
gonna have to look
Yeah.
into something. You know what I'm saying? We gonna figure it out. We gonna have to look
So
into
there's a
something.
He
superficial
said a book
level.
bag.
There's a superficial level that you're not willing to do. So like we just talking about like when you talk about the contract of marriage, you said for better or for worse.
For worse.
Like
Right.
that's a worse scenario. Can you handle it? Are you mature enough to
No
handle
one
that?
can
If you're
handle that. No one can
no,
handle
no.
that.
He's just said
horse
he
There's
can.
shit,
people dealing with it. They are the people dealing
horse
with it.
shit, horse
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
horse
people
shit.
dealing with that.
Nobody can handle that. That's
I can tell you
bullshit.
from experience. Yeah.
Those people aren't 100% happy.
What?
It's not had to do with
Ain't
happy.
about being
It's
happy. It's
love.
about endurance.
But you're
Endurance.
talking
Yes.
endurance or being happy, like living, putting up with
No,
it, or
they got nothing to
living
do with
life.
happy. No.
All right.
See what he's saying is it's not about the happiness part of it. It's making a vow. But this is what we talk about once you get through a certain time in life. Once you've been through a lot of things with persons,
Nah, that
like we
man.
talked
No,
But
about.
man.
there's levels
Nah.
under that though. We reaching with the
Ho-
losing legs and arms. There's levels under that.
No,
You
he
fall
was
out.
making a point.
You fall out of love. You fall out of
bro.
love, no matter what. I don't care how.
No. Then you didn't love him in the first place. Because
Facts.
the unconditional thing of love is unconditional. So
There's no
if you
conditions
marry
on it,
somebody,
Jizzle.
yeah, but it's relative. But like we talked about, if your
Everybody
partner
marries
has a
somebody
stroke,
unconditional at the beginning. Everyone
No,
says it's
no.
unconditional at the
Everything is
beginning.
conditional. You only got unconditional love for your kids and your mama.
Okay,
You
but
ain't got
everybody
everybody else is
at the
conditional
altar,
love.
but at the altar, everybody sits there and fucking says, "I love you forever, no matter what," and that ain't the fucking truth. So it's
Then
you
them
reaching.
fuckers need to get sued because they just breached the contract.
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Hey,
You just
look.
breached
Real
the
facts.
contract. It clearly says for better or for worse, through
Words.
sickness and in health. And if
Health.
you not able to capitalize and like rise to the occasion,
Realize that.
you shouldn't be at that altar in the first fucking place.
was-
You don't
We said
deserve
earlier
it.
that people get married
Yes.
for different reasons. We literally said earlier people get married for different reasons. So no, it ain't. They ain't gonna stay around if you ain't got no fucking
Well,
arms.
I'll
and
put
no
it to you
legs.
like this. Listen, there was a standing joke at one point between me and my wife, right? There's a standing joke like this. Like, oh, well, I would say, like, well, what if I fell down the stairs and I got fucking crippled? Would you take care of me? She's like, yeah, I'll take care of you. I'll make sure your ass is wiped and everything. You're fed and
Right.
everything. And then I'm out on the town. See you when I get back. But you'll be at the house probably by yourself a lot. You know what I mean? But you'll be taken care of. You'll be fine.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
What
hey,
more could you ask for?
Hey,
hey, facts.
yeah.
Real talk.
If that's the agreement, you know, then facts.
Hold on, don't say that wasn't an agreement. I'm just saying it was just like a standing joke. But
That-
she's
that
scared me
was an
like
agreement.
because she probably would do that shit. You know
People
what
will
I'm
get
saying?
sued left and right. It is what it is. But people, the truth of the matter is that people stand at that altar and they say, yes, forever.
They lie.
I love you.
Then they
forever.
should get
And then it's not
sued
real.
because
And then it's
they're
not real.
Breach of contract.
Breach of contract.
It is a
Breach of
contract.
contract.
Come on. You're being technical with the breach of contract
No,
shit.
because-
bro.
That's what
And a
it is.
divorce ain't technical. Hold on. Wait. No,
Go
a
with it.
divorce is
Break it
not
down.
technical. a child support is not technical. It's all technical. We can try to compartmentalize shit that don't deserve and don't belong. It doesn't need to be compartmentalized. All of that is technical. It's all technical. You got to take the bitter with the sweet. It's all consuming. You're not just marrying for love. You're marrying for all of these things. All of this
Yes.
comes together. All of the, depending on what state you live in, if you paying child support and you marry another woman, then that's no longer just your child support, that's y'all child
Yeah,
support.
child
You know
support.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like like this is all technical. What we talking about? If you're with your friends and one of the motherfuckers pull out a gun and start shooting up the block, y'all all going to
But we
jail. It's
talking
all
about love though. We're
technical.
not talking
All of
about
that
that.
is
We
to get.
talking about love. We're not talking about that though.
No, but we're talk it's
You
all
talking about if
technical though,
somebody pulls
Gizmo.
out a gun.
No,
Everything is I'm sorry, go
no.
for it.
He's just making a point, man. He's just making a point about everything being technical. That's it. Why do you keep taking everything he's saying out of context, bro?
We're just talking about it, bro. If it's an issue that I'm bringing it up, we talking about it. Like
It's not an issue. I'm just
there's
curious.
other people
Yeah.
listening that are probably thinking this, that might be thinking the same thing. That's what I'm just saying.
Okay.
So we just conversating, bro. I'm not
No,
attacking Nick on his views.
I'm not. I don't feel attacked. I
I'm
don't
doing
feel
the what
attacked.
about this?
I'm just
Yeah,
questioning.
no, we just
I'm just
talking, bro. I
questioning
ain't talking.
people's
Take it as you were,
context
bro.
clues.
Take it as you were.
It's context. It is all technical. It's all technical. It doesn't, but here's the problem though, Gizzo. It doesn't, the technical aspect does not undermine the love that's there.
Mm.
It doesn't undermine the love. Everybody,
Right.
we got a weird thing in this society that we think everything that's technical undermines the love that is there and can be put in. If I gotta wipe the old lady's ass because her arms and legs is gone, then like I still love her. I gotta find love to keep me fueled. Like, it might just be as simple as, man, I appreciate you for doing this. Like, man, that's a
Right.
thing. That's a thing.
It's a thing.
You
Yes,
know,
it
if
is.
your lady holds you down, if you get locked up and your lady holds you down and
Hold
do
you
that
down to
bit
hold
with
them.
you, put money on your books, that's a
Yeah.
thing.
A
There's
thing.
some
Yes,
women
sir.
that'll be like, fuck
Yeah.
that. But if
Yeah.
if she's like, nah, man, this is my dude, I'm gonna hold him down. I know, well, I hope he ain't cheating in jail, but I'm just put money on his books and all of this type of stuff.
Right.
And then,
Right.
like it is what it is. Like, these are for better or for worse. Like, it's in the contract
Mhm.
or in the
Right.
vows, if that's a better word.
Very for it. Right. Real
You
talk.
know, same shit, different toilet, smell hella bad. Either
Right.
way, it's the same thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that? He's shooting darts at me right now with his eyes, man. I don't know why.
I'm listening because whenever I'm listening. I know I'm listening, and it's all. We're all talking about different fucking love, man. In the end, it's just all different, and in all different fucking in all different ways. You talking about, yeah. We're just talking about all different kinds of love, man.
What all
You
kinds of
think you
different
think it's
love?
different? You think it's different?
I think it's different. That's why I think it's different because, like I said, everybody that's the most true statement I think in the whole episode is that everybody gets married for different reasons, and it's not all love.
Okay, wait. Pause, real quick. Everybody gets married for different reasons.
That's a
That's
different
like
conversation.
that's the love. That's not a love thing. That's an objective thing. Like, we gotta,
Love
like
is
we can't
objective.
say that they fell in love. They didn't fall in love. They got married. They had a different objective and agenda to get married. We're not talking about love when you make that type of a statement.
Right.
I'm talking like that. Those are different. Those are different things. They should be together. We're used to them being together. We're used to them being in the same conversation, but those are different. Getting married because her land and my land can now expand, can now, become a bigger plot of land. That's different. That's an
That's
objective
economics.
and an agenda.
That's an
That's
yeah.
not love. Love can be developed during all that or not. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
hopefully it will be developed during the courtship and all of that. Love is a different equation. That is an agenda. finding somebody for whatever reason you attracted, those are different. I would argue that love is the same, but the approach to how we like get into these situations, those are different. Like you said, is love blind or is it toxic, or what was the other one?
Is love
Blind,
blind
toxic.
or is it toxic?
The other one,
Toxic. Yeah. Is love blind or is it toxic?
Love, blind or toxic? Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like that depends on how you choose. How you choosing depends on how you get chosen. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty
How
heavy.
You
right
could,
there.
I mean, you could be trying to choose a good woman, but I'm just going back to the realistically, like when we're talking about Tinder, Facebook dating. In your mind, you could be choosing to try to get this good woman, and you might meet her at first, and she might be a good woman. But a
Okay.
couple weeks into it, a month into it, you start realizing that no, this bitch is crazy. Like, excuse
Right.
my language. Like,
Right.
Yeah. Do you talk about the crazy? Do you talk about how they handle situations? Do you put people like, people don't know how to date. People don't know how to date. Let's start there. When you go on a date with somebody, like you're not putting them in situations to where you can see how they react and how they act. You
Should
that's
be.
like that's a part of the thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the thing. Like one thing I used to always hate when people would talk about dating, dinner and a movie. Nah, fuck that. Let's go to a movie then dinner, because we have a shared experience that we can talk about, and then that
Right.
will springboard on other things while we eating. You know what I'm saying? Like you,
Right.
you have to have experience if you're choosing to go off of dating. Cause dating, you ain't got no courtship. You just like she look nice, he look nice. We come together. That's like a fucking crapshoot. That's like
Yeah.
you gambling at that point. When it's a courtship, your community, your family, whoever is like they got insight on you and this person. They trying to set y'all up. The court, and nothing romantic about it. I got a lot of Muslim homies, and like when they talk about how they met each other, it's like from my non-Muslim ears, I'm like, man, that shit used to look crazy and sound crazy to me. And they would be like, and then they'll just be like, oh, it sound crazy to you, and but look at our divorce rates versus
Divorce rate.
like
Right.
other people's divorce rates, and I got to shut the fuck up, and because they're right. You know what I'm saying? They learn to love each other. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like I felt like a hypocrite when I look at my grandparents. It's like, man, that motherfucker went to World War II. He was back. He married my grandmother, and then he was gone for 4 years fighting in a war. And then he comes back, and now it's like, fuck, I ain't seen this motherfucker in 4 years, and we married, and we got to make it work. And that shit lasted 66 years. So
Damn.
it's like, there might be something to learning to love somebody based on, like based on the value system, based on everything versus lustful desires and all of this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that you can't, because it was mad love in my house. It's mad love in a lot of these my Muslim partners' houses and household. As far as I know, and I can tell with their kids and all, they keep popping out babies, so they clearly must be getting along somewhere. Like,
Right.
Real
so
talk. Real talk.
so it's the thing is we've been, it's almost like we've been tricked to look down on certain things that like are options. These are just options. These are all just fucking options. You know what I'm saying? And depending on what you pick on your options, man, that like, okay, it's gonna limit certain things, but so fucking what? You know what I'm saying? Like it makes you get the best choice for you.
Yeah. I agree.
Real talk. Yeah.
With that being said, we're gonna call it one, but we're gonna give everybody their last words. I'm gonna start with you, OT, then D Nick, then Reggie, then Jizzo, and then myself to close it out.
All right. All right, brothers. Well, it was definitely informative tonight. I appreciate it. We've got a chance to talk about some subjects. Sound like we got some subjects to talk about. Love, toxic. It could be both ways, I would say, and we've all touched on it, and we got some thinking to do, I believe. So appreciate the time with you, brothers. It was a good talk, and I look forward to talking to you in the future. Peace from Germany, fellas.
Peace,
Bless.
peace.
Safe over there. Be safe over there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And D Nick, sir.
Man, broken record, is you choose a mate or a friend based on values, morals, proximity, and or addictions. And then love is a feeling or impulse developed from a habit. Habit is not a bad word. It is just in repetition. If you got a bad habit, that's why they call it a bad habit. You got good habits, obviously it's the opposite of that. So, you just gotta the onus is always on you. It's always on you. How you choosing is how you get chosen.
How you choosing is how
Mm,
you get chosen. I like
I
that.
like that. Yeah.
Reggie.
Man, it was I think love in all its forms is a beautiful thing. Um, and I appreciated hearing everybody's perspective, and I enjoyed the conversation.
Okay.
That's
Bruh.
what's up. I think that love has no boundaries. That there's times where, yeah, you're gonna choose love based off of love, values, morals, and addictions, and all of that. But I also think that sometimes like love comes in such a weird form that you don't pick it, that you don't choose. It just it happens. I believe there is a magical thing to love. Yeah, the straight way is picked based off this, and this. But sometimes love does come to you in weirdest forms, and it's happened to me, and it's shit altered my life. You know what I mean? So I do think it just happens sometimes. Like, but that doesn't mean that there's not ways to do it. One of my close partners always says, "You pick who you get with from the beginning. You know what they were about. You knew what they were on. You had all the signs." So, there is a way to pick it, but sometimes love just happens to come that way. And for anybody that still believes in that, and it happens that way sometimes. So that's my final thoughts, man. Shout out, it's your boy Jizzle, Shot City Cypher, Jizzle for Shizzle on Instagram. And love always, man. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to that, man. I don't know. I'm gonna end this show by first of all thanking all of you guys for being in here, man, and being in on the discussion. Man, I find this a touchy subject. I find it interesting. I find it shit. I find it all encompassing, really, when I think. But like from a standpoint where I'm standing and from where I'm sitting, I'm learning how to love right now. Like my compass of love has been all over the fucking place. I had no my magnetism towards shit was fucked up. So the whole aspect of love and toxicity and everything, I probably fall more on the lines of what D Nick is talking about. Because a lot of the things that I did were out of force of habit. And taking a blind eye to love or the value of love, I should say. I didn't value love. I didn't see the value in love. And now, being clear-minded, I am beginning to really understand the value of love. Is it a habit? I don't know, because I'm just figuring this shit out. Is it proximity? I would hope so. You know what I mean? Is it my moral compass? Probably, because I'm looking at things differently. But to each his own. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own thoughts and their own understanding of what that is. Me, I'm just a dude trying to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, man, this has been the check-in, man. Thank you guys. Peace, peace. And man, go out
Every
there and
Sunday at
love
8:30
somebody.
p.m.
Go
Every
out there and love
Sunday.
somebody, man. Shit.
Love somebody every Sunday at 8:30 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Love you, bro. Love you, brothers.
Love, man. Much
Love, man.
Love.
Real shit. All right, y'all,
All,
man. We up out this bitch.
never debate. All dialogue, never debate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This has been the check-in. We up out.
Peace, 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 peace.